Now, where can we go from here? It would be a good idea to, first of all, try and recover a little bit by expanding. However, the war against Russia is not going to let us do that. However, we could try. Maratha may as well take all our islands, which would certainly be a disaster. I like where we are now, because they can further push on attacking the Russian Empire, and unfortunately this is where all of my money, or most of my money, still is gonna go to. We're still being raided. That's bad because it sucks my income out. So right here, I'll attack. Okay, natural causes. A Charlie Mart, Jean Matthew Philibert, Charlie Mart, Rake. Workers on strike in Moldova. Okay, that was to be expected. And so I'm sending a force here to reinforce this. Okay, as you can see now, it's much better. In here I'm going to move on to Kiev, and it looks like Kiev is not defended, which is awesome. That means it's mine. Let us demand surrender. They will accept the surrender and will be assimilated. Now that they have surrendered, as you can see, I end up without any buildings destroyed. Okay. In here, we certainly need a church. Without that, it's going to be very, very bad very, very quickly. What else do we have here? Catholic church, that's fine. Another Catholic church, and it looks like you are at 92%, not 100, so you can just... no, it's fine. Let's let's just keep it there for the time being, while the population is still not 100% ours. Okay. These forces here should prepare against the new war, and that war against the Hanover. Okay, these can move on to Paris. From here I'll launch an offensive to the Iceland that's currently controlled by Denmark. Okay, they need to be reinforced. Let's get rid of the rebels. Right. So as you can see, that's quite expensive for us. Okay, happiness to clamor for reform. Let's not have this one, because it's making the population very, very unhappy. And it's so unhappy they are just simply going to rebel. This army needs to move on to Saxony. Furthermore, we are going to siege Courland. Now look at that, they have themselves a nice party of alliances, so we're not going to attack them just yet. Let's put all the troops in a position now for the war against Hanover and Denmark. So what does that mean? It could be that if we attack our land, Hanover in Denmark will attack us naturally while on the defense, because we're just being too aggressive too quickly. Now what I want to do here is I want to be prepared, and I want to kind of take this aggression quite strongly. Okay, it looks like I haven't checked all the priests, right? So let's see. These are 100% Catholic, so the priest needs to go here. Okay, these guys are set up quite well. These ones still need to do the missions there. You, on the other hand, don't need to be here anymore. But I don't have any ships to transport you. And I do have many spies, but do I really need them? Let's move with one spy onto the Moscow regions there. I do have many of them. Probably a few too many. And watching all over them could be a little bit annoying. However, here we can see that it's certainly a big deal. All of these things. So now the problem here is that now that we are not at war against the United States of America, we're at war against Maratha Confederacy, which means we can't have a navy. I mean, we can't have a trade route because they would probably just simply attack us, right? Or the Russians. But Maratha Confederacy is probably a lot more stronger with its navy power. So first things first. A good question is, what kind of navy will we create, right? So let's take a look. You cost 260. We can probably barely afford one right now. We're not making that much money, but we're making 13,000. So we have recovered due to the fact that we're not at war against that many nations out there. Okay, so let's see. Only one ship can be built, which is absolutely horrendous. Okay, in here more ships can be built. Now these ships right here are very powerful, but at the same time they're very expensive. We need something that would be a middle ground. We need a fleet that's very standard. Okay, that should be a good start, I guess. Are there any more ports that can construct ships? Looks like there are none. Okay. In any case, then you don't build anything. And these are going to start with these three powerful ships, and after that we're going to move on to the standardized 6th rate ship. Wow, 2nd rate ship of the line. Okay, 6th rate. Alright. And we do need an admiral ship actually, and that's actually the admiral ship right there, so we'll get one of these. 2nd rate ship of the line, very, very expensive beast. 2 of these just for the sake of it, and a few more of the other ones. Okay. And it either is going to get our coffers dry or not. We'll take a look how it's going to work, because without the navy we can't have trade routes. Without trade routes it's just not going to be fine. Simple as that. Now in our newly conquered settlement there in America, we need to build our church, something that would keep us strong. As you can see, Russians have started to raid us, and that's bad. Oh, look at that. They have sailed here. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, what they did. That's just an absolute disaster. They moved there to Florida all the way. In any case, I'll just have to send an army to take that settlement back. Take a look at that. What a disaster. Let's go, and very, very quickly we'll work this around. Okay. So this army is on the move. A cure for scurvy. Scurvy is an appalling disease that affects sailors and soldiers whilst at sea or away from home for long periods. Symptomized by spots on the legs and feet, spongy gums leading to loss of teeth, bleeding of gums and the membranes, and the opening of scars though healed. Depression and hallucinations are also common symptoms. There have been several claims over the years of European scientists stating a link between scurvy and the lack of fresh fruit and vegetables. The Royal Navy has only recently accepted this due to the efforts of one of its surgeons, James Lind. Lind has undertaken a clinical trial in order to prove his suggestion that putrefaction through scurvy can be remedied by administration of acid supplements. In doing so, he has discovered that the sailors who recovered most satisfactorily were the ones fed on fruit, particularly citrus fruits such as lemons and limes. It is hoped that these findings will soon be adopted as policy across all disciplines of the armed forces. Very, very good news indeed. Now the agents could be sent north. A new town has emerged right here. These troops need to get together. Trade gained, enemy raid. Let's find out where exactly this happened. Right here. This army could as well intercept the Russians here. Didn't cost us much, but it's not bad. Okay, here's the battle. It's a victory for us. Good. Now let's go back. Region lost Florida. Oh wow, that was just... whoa, a massive, massive hit to the gut. University research complete. Light infantry doctrine. Being in the main a newly improved method of deployment of correct use of light troops upon the field of battle. Platoon firing. Okay, let's take a look at platoon firing right here. So who has it? You have it, okay. In 11 turns, platoon firing. The firing plan for musketry ensures an infantry unit keeps up continual barrage of shots against an enemy. Nearly all line infantry carry smoothbore muzzle-loading muskets. These take considerable time to reload after firing, anything up to a minute for poorly trained and nervous troops. During that time, the enemy can close or return fire unmolested. In the time it takes to reload, the unit can be cut down, its half-loaded weapons useless in the face of an aggressive foe. It is sensible to make sure that not everyone is an infantry unit is reloading at the same moment. This in turn means that not everyone should be firing at the same time. Platoon fire is a way of dividing a unit into smaller groups that each fire, reload and fire again. In turn, the result is a rippling fire down a line formation, and as the last platoon fires its muskets, the first is ready to fire again. A unit can always give some fire to the enemy at all times, even if this is less than a complete volley. When more than one unit is involved, all the troops in every first platoon fire followed by all the second platoons and so on, creating a several rippling barrages down the battle line. The word platoon in this context does not have the modern meaning of being a subunit of a military company. Platoon assignment to what was a fire group was made on an ad hoc of informal basis and could mean a whole regiment being assigned to a platoon. Okay, it looks like it's not bad. Now, what do we have? Explosive rockets. I need to build more buildings, as you know, to unlock a lot more technologies. In any case, we will have some more stuff here, but these reforms are obviously going to make everybody a lot more unhappy, but at the same time will unlock other things that are certainly very important too. So that's a major fishery. Unfortunately, I don't want a fishery, I want something else. I want something that would help me transport stuff, and that is a trading part. That's exactly what I need and what I have, and so far so good. It works just fine. Commercial port right there. Okay, so my forces are moving on here to establish further. Okay, the priest is working just fine. I'm looking if there are any ships. Yeah, it looks like there are. So let's get this guy into the ships and sail him on to New Orleans, where he is going to do a much better job. Now just notice that this guy is at 95% here, which isn't that bad after all. So it's best if I just take him with me. 95% is nearly as much as 100. Besides that, considering that it's 5% Protestantism, it's not bad. As you can see, it's going to stay like this forever now. Well, not forever, but for a very, very long time. In this game right here, it's certainly going to be forever. Now, we can't unfortunately block all the trade there. But we will be blocking quite a bit. Okay. Now, let's go through these further. I want to fix all of them now, and I'm not even going to expand much so far. Just fixing them and building some new stuff is enough. So I'm gonna focus on increasing wealth. These aesthetics obviously making everybody feel much happier. Alright. Give me crafts workshops. Look at that, 3,600. Bam! Off you go. Now, this can go here. And now I'm sure that there's certainly nothing to fix, which is good. I noted there was some raiding happening right here, for example. It doesn't cost much. Now these workshops are great. They do give me the money. There are many palatial estates. Royal palace set in its own magnificent gardens or parkland, complete with cows, artfully arranged woodlands, and tame population of beautiful peasants and animals. This is a pure statement of the nation's wealth and power. No expense is spared in order to give the monarch a suitable setting, apart from the landscape itself, which is a carefully ordered to banish wild nature and the lower orders. The palace itself is a magnificent structure, unrestrained by any budgetary constraints. This is a setting for balls, masques, intrigues, and plots, all under the watchful eye of the monarch and his inner circle. Versailles was probably the most magnificent example of this kind of palace, from the palace itself to the mock farm, complete with sheep washed and eau de cologne for the queen to play at being a shepherdess. No expense was spared. It was very public projection of the wealth and prestige of the Bourbons and the France itself. The place was designed to overawe and confound lesser men with its sumptuous sybaritic comforts. Okay, that's absolutely incredible, no doubts about that. Okay, so far so good. Can you move out? It looks like absolutely not. You cannot. But the Pope is helping us. Plus 5% a turn is absolutely incredible, as you can see. One of these. Pope priests are here, right? Yes. Alright. Now. This army needs to get into a position to this army in a position, and okay, I'm just gonna build this at some point. Okay, let's go through the parts here. I want to see what do I have here. So that's 2 military parts, and it looks like that's another military part, the 3rd military part, which is good. Okay, we'll keep it just like that then, and we'll use 3 military parts to create ourselves a powerful enough navy.
Puis-je vous aider davantage? Monsieur, je...
Now, it's very important to catch all these Russian raiders that are closing in on our territory, and when possible advance further into their territory. I've already noticed that they have a full army there. Okay. They will attack us here.
La flotte est perdue!
Unfortunately, what a disaster. We lose our priests. Wow, that's bad. Maratha Confederacy is being very evil towards us. Obviously, that's due to the fact that we're just fighting battles that cannot be won, and they're just effectively dealing with us there. Okay, another agent. This other agent could just as well move forward. Agent killed, and that's the priest out there. This man has been drowned during the destruction of the fleet he was accompanying. A new town has emerged right there. So this is going to be our church. So a church school can be placed here. Happiness, lower classes, spiritual circle, an area of great spiritual power, respected and honored by all. A spirit circle is a center of sacred power that has been blessed by a spiritual leader or shaman. Entry to these circles is only from the east, and once inside, the sacred dancers move around the circle in the same direction as the path of the sun through the sky. Spiritually was and still is a deeply important aspect of Native American life. Many believe that there were 3 levels of spirit orders. The first being spirits on earth. Every being was said to have the power of the spirits within them. These were in turn controlled by the final level of spirits, those that oversee the whole universe. Natural causes, Maxen said, MAPO, military technology. This nation has further developed their military technology with the intention of gaining a vital advantage over their enemies on the field of battle. Ships can be protected from fouling and the ravagers of worms by covering them with copper sheeting below the waterline. Wooden ships are a rich feast for many marine animals and a home for all manner of weeds and barnacles. Over time, any hull becomes filled with weeds and crustaceans to the point that the ship's speed is compromised. Worse still, given time, worms will eat the planks of a ship to the point where its bottom literally falls out. Other than scraping a beach hull clean, there is no cure. Worm-eaten timbers have to be chopped out and replaced. Coppering involves nailing or bolting thin sheets of metal over the hull of ship underside. The copper is toxic to worms and weeds and greatly extends the working life of a ship and improves its seakeeping qualities. Historically, copper was only a partial solution to the problem of fouling. It worked well in keeping the hull clean, but thanks to an electrolytic reaction with the iron balls used to hold the ship together, the balls rotted away. The iron, copper, and seawater had created a battery, and the unintentional iron cathodes were damaged by the reaction. Next, technology and research improved copper. Alright, workers riot in Ukraine. However, we do have an army station here, so it shouldn't be that bad. Let's make sure that there are no churches built here that would go against us. First of all, they have this school here, a school that we don't really need anymore. We have plenty of these schools here, and we'll just build ourselves a church school, which will make sure that everything is fine. Okay, fleet destroyed, as you know, but this is where the priests died, and the riots here should be squashed. Now that that's done, I'm, as you know, sending an army to Paris here. This army will have to attack everybody in Iceland. At the same time, I will invest massive number of cash into strengthening these armies so that the Battle of Hanover could take place. So now I'm just going to further improve my army's ability to fight, a few armies, and we'll move out. And here I tried to check and it was still red, the public order. However, it looks like now it's fine. So we'll be marching on to Crimea now, and after taking Crimea, we are going to have a really nice chunk of land taken from the Russian Empire. As you have noticed here, our spies indicated that the Russians are coming with a army. This army is not full in strength, and if the current events continue, we will certainly be quite powerful. We have many of these buildings here. It does give us a little bit of everything. Growth reduces the chance of food shortages, more region wealth, happiness. It's really nice. However, too many of these is not going to be good either. But it looks like these provinces, for example in the east, have many luxurious real estates, while the provinces in the west do not have any of these. So we see that's one here, another one there, another one here, and it looks like these are very popular. In any case, a new war is about to start, and let's make sure that we are the victors here. We're gonna be victorious. They will refuse the surrender and will successfully trigger them. Region has been captured here, and this army needs a general. At some point we'll just have to hire one. Look at that, what's here? Communal farming, an area of farmland worked by the tribe as a whole to raise crops or livestock. Communal farming allows a tribe to expand its farmlands. As the workforce moves beyond simple subsistence, the rough division of labor creates farming specialists, experts in husbandry or crops. Their knowledge enriches the tribe. As European influence increased, the tribes recognized the need to hold more territory, if only to deprive the invaders of the best lands. Okay. Surprisingly, the Indians are not attacking us too much. In Europe, everything seems to be quite stable. Not bad at all. Our armies need replenishment, but they are numerous, as you can see. Certainly numerous. And the armies that will fight in the west will be replenished soon. And with these two armies right here, we should have a massive chance of a successful invasion of Hanover and Denmark. Furthermore, additional army will be sent to take over Iceland right here, and it means we'll be moving to the island right here too, in the name of France.